Hey, Andy here from builderhottub.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about how Roger built a DIY dipping pool in the Dominican Republic. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so what I absolutely love about what I do is the variety of projects, the variety of people, and the different countries that I get to deal with. And some projects I have huge amounts of involvement with, and others less so. And this was definitely the latter here with Roger. Now, Roger got in touch because he wanted to build a DIY dipping pool in his backyard. And the biggest challenge for Roger was firstly getting the plans and the designs done locally, so he found me, and secondly was the part supply. Trying to get the parts that he needed in the Dominican Republic was going to be a challenge, so I helped him out with that as well. So after Roger got the plans and the designs from my store, so this particular video is really showing that how you can use the off-the-shelf designs that I have to build a beautiful cocktail pool, plunge pool, dipping pool, whatever you want to call it, in your backyard. Now, before we get into the process, always a great opportunity, you know I like to get this in there, to say please do subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon to be notified when my videos go live. I do 2 long form videos just like this every single week, a whole bunch of shorts, and everything on my channel focuses on DIY hot tubs, plunge pools, cocktail pools, dipping pools, whatever you want to call them, parts, air source heat pumps, and pretty much everything in between. Okay, so with that out the way, it was over to Roger and the guys to get started on the project. So he had a plan, he knew what he was doing, he knew where he was getting the parts, i.e. me, and the first thing that he wanted to do was prep the area. Now, with a lot of plunge pools and dipping pools and cocktail pools, you've got to excavate. But what Roger wanted to build was an above ground dipping pool. And the concept that he and his other half have is that it would kind of just arisen from the ground, and that's what the final design is all about. And I'll show you at the end of this video, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I'll just drop that in there already. So what you can see is they've cleared the turf. They've then created a space where the base is going to be. The rebar is in there, and the vertical rebar, which ties into the base as well to hold those blocks nicely together, is going in as well. With that done, the base poured, it's then over to the first course of block, which needs to be dropped down over those rebar. And you can see that Roger and the guys there have started to do that on the build. The walls have gone in pretty quick, and you can see the images that are cycling through behind me here of the process. It was a pretty quick process to get those blocks up to height on Roger's DIY dipping pool. Once the walls are in place, the next stage of the project is to fit the plumbing. So the plumbing for the bottom drains was already in. You would have seen that on the very first image that I showed. They put those in before they actually poured the base. Next, they needed to add the returns or the jets into the dipping pool so they can put the filtered water back into it. Now, with this project being out of the ground, so freestanding, you've got to think about what you're actually going to do with those pipes. Now, you want to cover them up in some way, shape or form. So what Roger and the guys did was they're actually building a second skin that's going to cover up the pipes, and it just visually looks a lot better than obviously having things exposed. Now, if you're going to do this in ground, you can choose whether you just fill with gravel around these before you have your finish, whether it's a deck or a patio around the pool itself. It's a little bit different from when you're above ground, because when you're above ground, you've got to do something that looks aesthetically pleasing around that pipework. So with the outer skin done, it was then on to the control room, and this project just goes to show that you can have such a simple setup that gives you a fantastic result, and you'll see that at the end of the video. But the control room itself is really, really simple, and you can see this behind me. There is a pump, there's a filter, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so there's no complicated process or lots of UV systems or salt systems or air blowers or spa packs. On this particular build, It's simply moving the water through the filter to keep it clean and healthy. They're going to sanitize with chlorine. It's the easiest way that you can create a dipping pool in your backyard. So with the control room in place, it was then back into the tub itself, as you can see here, to work on the interior. So with the jets coming through the walls, now these are more like hot water returns for swimming pools than they are jets. They're not the gunite bodies, they don't have the water in the airline, they're not going to be as powerful, they're not going to be as bubbly. But again, it's simple, and these were what were available locally, so that's what Roger wanted to use. So you can use pool returns in this way. Don't expect a big massage jet, but do expect enough water movement that you're going to have beautifully clear filtered water. So the walls were rendered flat, they were then sealed, they were then waterproofed, and what you can see behind me is the water line has been tiled. It's always a good idea to actually tile the water line. It makes life a lot easier when it comes to cleaning the pool itself. And underneath the tiles, it's then painted. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video that the concept for this build was that the dipping pool has just risen out of the ground, and that was the look that they wanted to go for. And Roger's other half, Simona, has done a fantastic job on the mosaics, and you can see some of the images behind me here. She's designed all of those, and it looks absolutely stunning. With the interior done, the cure period has passed. The next stage is probably the most exciting stage of a build, is when you get to actually fill the tub for the first time. And you can see behind me, they've got the jets running. It's going to make sure that there's no airlocks in there. And in the style of some of my TikTok videos, yeah, I'm on that as well. If you haven't subscribed over there, please go ahead and do so. I'll give you a reveal. So we went from filling jets like this to the final result. How good does this dipping pool look? It's simple, it's beautiful, and it definitely hits the brief of looking like it's just kind of erupted out of the ground. It's an absolutely stunning build. Roger, you, the guys, Simona have done a absolutely fantastic job. It's simple, but it's perfect. Can I help you with your DIY hot tub, plunge pool, cocktail pool, dipping pool, whatever you want to call it? If I can, please do get in touch. You can hit me up in the comments. You can get in touch via the website at buildahottub.com. As always, I hope you found this short video useful. I appreciate the view. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.